Hi, this is Nathalie Rydstrom here from sportsbookraeview.com, and I've got Lee Phelps, William Hill's in-play radio host, on the line. And today we're going to take a look at Real Madrid's goal situation. Now, there seems to be a lot of talk centred around this subject. Is this an area that Real Madrid have to improve on if they want to win titles next year?
I don't think it's the only area they need to improve on, but it's kind of gathering its own pace, isn't it? De Gea is widely thought of as being one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Spanish, girlfriend lives in Madrid. Why not go back? I've seen his girlfriend. I'd be moving back to Madrid, I think, if I was him as well, to be honest with you. But what the papers say is that he is insisting that he wants to be first choice. So that would mean that Iker Casillas would have to leave the club. I don't believe that's the case. I can't believe that De Gea is giving an ultimatum to Real Madrid that Iker Casillas has to leave. Casillas is a legend at the club. Why can't Casillas stay there and be second string? Casillas has already said he wants De Gea to come to the club. It's good to have that rivalry between two goalkeepers. Look at Chelsea, with two fabulous goalkeepers. So I think that's all rubbish. I think he will move. I think the papers are just desperate for something to happen. But I think, he's a very short price to move to Real Madrid. And I think he will end up there. Incidentally, Casillas is still 3-1 on to be at Real Madrid after the summer. So I think we'll have David De Gea and Iker Casillas at Real Madrid, and then the new manager will have to decide who he wants back more in net first choice. But I think De Gea will end up as being the #1 goalkeeper at the club next season.
Yeah, well, De Gea, if we're going to go by odds here, 1.08 to join the club. That's almost pretty much said. When you see odds like that, it's pretty much going to happen. How will this be for Real Madrid?
I think it'll be a great move. He's obviously a fantastic goalkeeper. He seems to have settled in England. He had a pretty torrid first season, but it is difficult going into English football where there's, it's a slightly different type of play, a lot more aerial balls going into the box. He probably wasn't maybe strong enough in stature, mentally and physically. But he's grown a lot, and I think he'll be fantastic at Real Madrid. I really do. I think it leaves a big hole for Manchester United, and you think we're going to talk about that in another video about transfers. But for Real Madrid, it'll be a fantastic move. I was interested to see what would happen with Pepe Reina. Benitez going to Real Madrid. He's taken Reina. He was with him at Liverpool. He took him to Napoli. Will he take him to Real Madrid as a third choice keeper even? Or if Casillas went, would Reina be the #2 with De Gea in charge? A more experienced, quality goalkeeper. So it's interesting to see what happens there. All the chat at the moment, Nathalie, about Real Madrid is about who's leaving.
Yeah.
De Gea is the only one that we're being told, that, De Gea is, going to come in. That looks like it's going to happen because of the odds. But, so many players potentially leaving the club. You wonder, how Benitez hasn't got long, if he is going to get rid of a few players, to kind of start bringing other players in. So I'm not sure we're going to see the wholesale changes that a lot of the newspapers are predicting.
Yeah. Who else that we haven't discussed right now? Who else do we know is joining Real Madrid?
Well, we don't know anyone at the moment. That's why it's so up in the air. I think that's the problem. It's not like they need to make loads of changes. This is a fantastic team. Look at the front line. Doesn't really need an awful lot doing to it, I don't think. I think De Gea is the only one that we definitely know. Danilo has already come in, of course. He was recruited a little bit earlier in the summer. So I think that's a new right back for them, a bit more solidity in defence. But I don't think they're going to be breaking the bank and bringing defenders in. I think they'll be looking to bolster midfield, and then they need to be able to let that attacking force take over the same way Barcelona did. You don't hear much about the midfield players at Barcelona, do we? I thought Rakitic was unbelievable in the Champions League final. Didn't really hear that much about him. Iniesta got man of the match, as he probably would do. But you need those solid players in the middle who can then let all the great players, Bale, Rodriguez, and of course Cristiano Ronaldo, to name just 3 of them, to go and do their thing. So it's going to be interesting to see what Benitez does. I don't think he'll change too much there, though. I don't think he'll make wholesale changes at all.
All right, wonderful. Lee Phelps, thank you for joining us today.
No problem.